Hello folks, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Kenny, and incidentally you can probably tell, so welcome back to Kenny's Kitchen. And today we want to share a recipe with you that will prove to be very rewarding if you'll just follow my directions. We are going to put together a chicken casserole. So you hang around and we're going to show you how that is done. And I'm sure you will not be disappointed, so hang around. First step, I'm going to show you what we're doing. Let me take you right over to the pot. We have just cooked chicken breast. Now we're going to make a very large casserole. Now, you can use dark meat, but we choose the white meat because I believe the white meat is far better than the dark meat when it comes to making a casserole. So, I've already cooked this. We've got about 3 pounds of chicken here, so we're going to make a very large casserole. The first step is to cook the meat, cook the chicken breast. Cook it thoroughly, and then you want to take it apart in little chunks, little pieces, just like that. That is your first step to creating a beautiful chicken casserole. All right now folks, we're following this one step at a time here. So those of you that will want to prepare this recipe, it's a step-by-step thing. So the next step, we've got the chicken in the pot. Now that chicken needs to be shredded, similar to what I've got here. And then you want to salt it a little bit. Go ahead and shake a little salt on it. That's just about right there. Now the next step is this. I have got the veggies. Now I've got onion here. You want a large, now it depends on the size of your family, folks. Listen, we are preparing this for a family of 6, okay? So that is going to be a very large casserole. And I have prepared my onion, which is from my garden. I've gotten a couple of large onions here, and I've got some fresh green celery. That's got to be chopped up finely, so I'm going to take my chopper and we're going to put it into a fine chunk, if you will. Just take your chopper or whatever method you do or use to chop this up finely. Now that is the next step. You've got to get that really chopped up. So follow those directions and chop your celery and your onion together. Okay, now folks, follow along with me with this recipe. This is your chopped celery and your onions. They have they've been really chopped very fine. Now the next step is take your onion and your celery, and you want to put it in butter, just like this. See what I'm doing? That, you've got to saute that now. This is in butter. Saute this onion and celery in butter until it's really nicely sauteed. That's what we're going to do right there with that. Probably about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay now folks, while my onions and my celery are sauteing, I will take 2 cans of cream of chicken and add them to this large pan. Just take these like that, empty them out in the container, which just happens to be a large cooking pan, we'll call it. Okay. I'm emptying this cream of chicken out in the main dish. This is a large oven dish. Okay, now I'm going to take a large pint of cream cheese. Sour cream. Did I say cream cheese? I am sorry. This is sour cream, not cream cheese. So please make a note of that and don't let me confuse you. It is sour cream. So I'm going to stir this up. Really blend it together. Now that's important. What about me saying that was cream cheese? Now just blend this real well, folks, and really make sure that it's consistent. That's the important issue with this sour cream and this cream of chicken. And forget all about that cream cheese. I don't know why I was thinking of cream cheese. Silly. Okay. You can do this with a blender if you want to. It saves you a little bit of time, but I've got a little bit of time, so I don't mind. So that's the way that is done, folks. All right, folks, we have got this really nice and consistent. We've got this really looking well. So the next step is you take your chicken, okay? Now make sure you've got a little bit of chicken broth in with this, okay? Just empty out the entire contents. Like I said, there's about 3 pounds of chicken breast here. So you want to get it every bit out of it. And then go ahead and just blend it in with your cream of chicken and with your sour cream. Set that over there. That's looking so much better. Folks, I'm going to be honest with you. If you prepare this according to the directions that I am showing you, when it is really, really finished, if you serve this to your family, they will thank you tonight after dinner. They'll thank you tomorrow before dinner, because it's that good. It's that good. Trust me, it's that good. So, all right, we have got this step ahead. All right now, folks, my onions and my celery have been sauteed, pretty much done right now. So at this step here with these onions and with the celery, you want to add 1 tablespoonful of Old Bay seasoning or poultry seasoning. Just go ahead and add that to your celery and to your onion. Add that 1 tablespoonful, and of course you want to just blend it in real good while it's still sauteing. Just like that. It's just that easy, folks. That's going to add a tremendous amount of flavor to your casserole. And you want to follow that step very carefully, because that's your seasoning. That is your seasoning. And I think that covers it right there. So we're ready for the next step. All right now, folks, we have added the seasoning to this. We want now to take and add some chicken broth to your celery and your onions. So we're going to put 3 cups. We're going to put 3 cups in here. Like that. That's chicken broth. And by the way, that chicken broth, there's another cup. That chicken broth is the chicken broth that was cooked. I added just a little bit more than that. Okay. There we go. 3 cups, and you want to stir that up. Stir the chicken broth. Blend it in. Turn your heat up just a little bit. Just a little bit, because that chicken broth got just a little bit cold. I think we just bring this to a boil. All right, we're going to let this heat up real good. That's a lot of chicken broth, and that was cooked right in with the chicken. So I think that completes that one. All right, now folks, we have brought our chicken broth and our celery and onions to a boil. And we had, by the way, you can probably tell this, we got really excited, and our skillet was a little bit too small, so we have added a bigger skillet. Now, next step, this is stovetop stuffing mix. It's cornbread. Now, the next step, you want to add, turn your heat down on this. You want to add two packs, which is really 6-ounce packs, so it's a total of 12 ounces of cornbread stuffing to this chicken stock with onions and celery. Good old stovetop. Just add that to this skillet full of veggies, and just let it soak for a few seconds and absorb, and then we will fluff it up pretty good. We've got the heat down on low at this point. Just let it go ahead and absorb all of that good stuff. Now we're going to fluff this up in just a few seconds. Let it absorb. Remember, folks, this is your ingredients that you're going to really be amazed at how that this stuffing brings out the flavor, along with the chicken stock and the poultry seasoning. That's going to bring out the flavor, and that's really what's going to make the casserole taste like a casserole. All right, now we're probably ready to just fluff this up a little bit, like this. You don't really have to do it fancy, but you just toss it a little, if you will. You're getting that stuff in nice and moist. You want it really moist. Now, I think we are, yes, that looks great to me. So we're ready to go with the next step. Now, folks, this is the final step to this recipe. We have got this stuffing ready to empty out. Just take your skillet like this and empty the entire content of this out on top of your chicken. You do not mix it in the chicken. No, 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 you do not do that. You want to just put it on the top. This is a lot of stuff in here. Now you remember too, you do make this according to your family size. Now, since I have said this already, I've told you that we are preparing this for a family of 6. So I am going to spread this out over the top of the other ingredients. I'm using a large tablespoon to do this. You can use whatever you choose to. You do not mix this, it just goes on the top. And I've already made that, I think, clear, but I want to make sure you follow that direction or you'll mess up your casserole. Just put it on top really smooth like that. Now you want to stick this in the oven. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And I think this is just about right. Nice and flat. Make your surface nice and flat. You don't have to spend as much time as I'm doing this with it. But that's entirely up to you. Now I'm ready to move this to the oven. All right, now be very careful with this because this is pretty heavy. And I'm going to move it right on over to the oven. My oven is ready. Put this on the top layer in your oven and bake it for 30 minutes on 400 degrees. All right, now folks, we have just removed this from the oven, and this is your finished product. Notice that this is nice and brown on top. You can see how that stove top has really just started really just getting so brown. Now, this has cooked for about 30 minutes, actually baked for about 30 minutes. Now you want to let this sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes before you attempt to eat it because it is super, super hot. And I'm going to tell you something, folks, this is a one-pot meal that you absolutely will say, wow, that is totally, totally awesome. Now, I have to agree with certain things. A lot of times, folks, that what you put in something is actually what it's going to be and what it's going to taste like. But listen, this is a beautiful one-pot meal that you will absolutely fall in love with. So, let me turn this camera around and say to you, listen, folks, we appreciate you this afternoon. We're ready to chow down here with this one-pot meal. We're going to let it cool for a few minutes, but give this recipe a try. And let me tell you, I believe you will be pleased with it. Take your time and prepare it according to the directions that I gave you. And once you eat it, you will pass it on to friends and family, because it's not because we prepared it, but it's because of what's in it and how it will taste. So thank you again for viewing our videos. Pass this recipe along to somebody that really would love to try it. And once you try it, I know you're going to use it over and over and over. So again, thank you for watching and watching our videos. And if you do like this, go ahead and click on that like button, and we would appreciate it. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. And listen, as always, you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we will talk to you